Our next section in geometry, section 2, is looking at measuring and constructing line segments. And the first piece to know and understand is this whole word of postulates and axioms. They're going to mention them quite a few times, and really all they are types of rules that we use in mathematics and in geometry. So when they say a postulate, they're just talking about a rule. And the first rule or postulate we're going to take a look at is postulate 1.1. It's called the ruler postulate. And what it says is that points on a line can be matched with real numbers or coordinates, which in a sense just says like, hey, you can use a ruler, because a ruler is like a line and it has numbers on it that represent coordinates. And the other piece of it is talking about the distance between 2 points is written as, and this crazy thing is just talking about the distance between 2 points. And to find the distance, we just subtract. And remember, absolute value is here because distance is always positive. So what it's saying is that if you have 2 points on a line, here's my little ruler, you like my ruler? You can use a ruler in a sense to measure it. And again, what it's saying is that I could subtract. So like I don't always have to start my ruler at the very beginning. I could also start it somewhere in the middle and subtract these two numbers and also get the distance, just like I would if the ruler was starting from the beginning. The other thing we're going to do in this section is start our constructions. And constructions are drawings used in geometry, and in order to make them, we use a compass and a straight edge. So we're going to practice some of that today. So the first thing you need in constructions, as it says, is a straight edge and a compass. So you could use a ruler, or you could use a piece of paper, or whatever. You don't need it to be fancy. So I'm just going to use a piece of paper because I just need a straight edge. So I'm going to create a line segment, and I need to copy this. So when I copy this, it means it's going to be exactly the same, which is what I want it to be. So in order to copy this, I need to create another line segment that's longer. And then I'm going to take my compass and I'm going to put the pointy edge on one of the endpoints. And then I'm going to move and adjust until I can get to the other endpoint. And when I do, I'm going to make just like a little arc. Remember, this is really light. I'm not putting any pressure on this one. I'm putting pressure on this one, like digging that kind of into the page and letting this just kind of gently make a little arc. Okay, so I've measured from here to here. Now I'm going to pick this up, and I don't want to like touch it or move it. I'm going to pick it up, and I'm going to point it on the other endpoint. And then again, I'm going to make that slight little arc. And there, I've just copied and measured this line segment. This line segment here is now exactly the same as that line segment there. That's our first construction. And speaking of congruent, so what we just created two congruent segments. And in geometry, we'll be able to see that by little notches. So if this has a single notch and this has a single notch, then I know that these two pieces are equal or congruent. This is how you would see it written. You would see that AB, line segment AB, is congruent. Remember, it's an equal sign with a squiggle on top to CD. I know that these two are the same, either by this or by these notches. Okay? And the last postulate for today is postulate 1.2. And it is talking about segment addition. So we're going to take those segments and we're going to add them together, and we're going to do a lot of that. So what it says is that if B is between A and C, then AB plus BC has to be equal to AC. So let's see what that looks like. So they're saying if B is between A and C, that AB, this piece right here, plus this little piece right here is going to be equal to the whole piece. And we need that because, for instance, if I said like, I don't know, if this is 8 and this is 4, then I know the whole thing is 12. Well, if I know that later on, if maybe this is n or x or something, I would be able to figure that out, because if I know the whole thing and I know a piece of it, then I should be able to also find the other piece. Okie dokie.